What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another new episode of Bunch of Marks. This is our 30th episode, by the way, and which is wild.
Crazy.
It is crazy, isn't it? And
All right.
I'm looking forward to this episode. I'll just give an introduction of everybody here in case you never listened to our show before. I am Brian Daniels, and joining me to my immediate right is my amazing wife, Raven.
So,
And our other Mark, we usually run 4 people here. Rocco is out on this episode. That's okay. You know, that's cool. We let it pass
Once
for
in a
once
while,
in a
you
while.
gotta tag out.
Yeah. And joining us as always is Josh Thundershaver. What's up, Josh?
Hey, yo, what's up, Brian?
It's not a whole lot, man. I'm excited for this episode because
Yes.
we have a very special guest joining us here to kind of tag in for our old pal Rocco. It's my friend Cameron, who's here. Cameron Forsythe is here. Cameron, how's it going, man? It's good to have you here on A Bunch of Marks, dude.
Well, I appreciate the invitation, and I'm very thankful to be on here.
Dude, we're glad to have you here, man. And little backstory about my friend Cameron. He is a professional wrestler. I know he's been wrestling for a long time. This episode's not going to be entirely about you. Sorry about that. But we're gonna have, it's not all about you, Cameron. It's not all about you,
Yeah.
okay? But we are gonna have you come back and we'll do a proper episode where the whole show will be about you. But
I appreciate
Cameron's been wrestling. Raven and I moved down to the Southern Indiana area about 5-6 years ago now.
6 years.
6 years ago now.
6
Yeah.
years ago this month.
And
Crazy.
I got to know Cameron through my old pal Eric Montgomery, and I've seen Cameron wrestle a few times. He some of you might know him as the Cole County Crusher, but outside of that, I also know him as Cameron. It's just Cameron, and that's what you're getting today on this show is Cameron.
that. That's correct.
And Cameron, if you want to, we can go a little bit into your career. How long you been wrestling, Cameron?
Well, I started training in 2017, and I made my debut on January 20th of 2018. So
Nice, man.
my math is off right now. It's been a long day.
It's all right.
Almost 9 years, I think.
Yeah, something like
8,
that.
9.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Math is not my strongest suit either. So.
Yeah, we don't, numbers suck. We don't like numbers.
Well,
We're not in this for the numbers.
No, we're really not. What got you wanting to be a pro wrestler, Cameron?
Well, I grew up hearing the stories about my dad going to see the wrestling matches down in Memphis, Tennessee, with his dad, and
Okay. Nice.
after a while, because he used to live in Jackson, Tennessee, and he'd go to Memphis and watch the matches. Watching people like Jerry Lawler and Tojo Yamamoto and Wilbur Snyder. And he took me to my first few matches, and I believe the first one was OVW Christmas Chaos.
Nice.
And I was maybe 10 years old, I want to say.
Yeah.
And that I believe that card got delayed from December. They got snowed out, and then they did it in January. And
wow.
me and him went to that. And I just instantly fell in love with it. Just the atmosphere, the smell of popcorn in the air, the energy, just the overall feel started getting to me, and I caught the bug.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Nice, dude.
Yeah, no, that's great.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic, man. And of course, like I said, we'll have you back on. We'll delve way more into your pro wrestling career, your accomplishments and things like that. But I'll drop some links if you're listening to this on YouTube. We'll try to get you some links where you can check Cameron out for his wrestling and stuff like that. I'm sure he'll send me some once we're done with the episode. But let's get into it. So what we're going to get into first before we get into what we call our main event discussion, which on this episode we're going to talk about some of our favorite championship reigns.
Yes.
And there's a lot of them. And I know I have quite a few that just come immediately to the forefront of my head. And I know we're all pro wrestling fans from numerous lengths of time, and we've all watched numerous. And I'm not just talking WWE. We don't just cover WWE. We talk about all of it here. So I'll ask everybody to talk about that once we get to that portion. But what we're going to be talking about instead is what we're going to get into as our opening bout for this episode. We're going to talk about Raven because we do this little bit here on the show. It's the last episode of November. It's the second episode of November, rather. We only do 2 a month. And for our second episode each month, we do a portion of the show, a segment rather, called Raven Reacts. If you don't know what that is, well, let me give a little introduction. First off, welcome to listening to our show, by the way, if you're new to our show. So Raven has only been a wrestling fan for about 3 years now. We can't really give her the noob title anymore. She's grown out of that, I think.
Yeah, I'm not a newbie anymore.
No. And but there's a lot of pro wrestling's past that she has not experienced.
Yeah.
One of the matches that she got to watch for the first time and react to was the 1998 Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Mankind.
Dude,
Did that
that's crazy.
several months ago. So how
there
this
were
works?
so many memes that I had to wait for you to watch that to send.
But so how this works is Raven will start with a list of 6 different matches, and she randomly picks one of them. She doesn't know what they are. She just picks a number between 1 and 6. Once she's watched the match, we eliminate that match off the board. Once Raven clears the board, she gets a brand new list. This is her second list. She eliminated her first 6 matches last month in October. So she gets 6 new ones. Now, what are these matches composed of? Well, or consist of rather? Well, one of the matches is a bad match that the community tends to designate as a bad match. One of the matches is a match that I have also never seen. I get to watch with Raven for the very first time and experience it with her. Outside of that, all of the matches, though, are a match she has never seen before. And so we're starting fresh. 6 new matches.
Yeah.
And tonight, right before we started recording this episode, she watched. The fun part too is my co-host do not know what match she watched. Cameron has no idea what.
They know the list,
right?
But they don't know which one I watch.
And Cameron doesn't even know at all what the matches are on the list,
No.
So he doesn't have any clue at all what it could be. So tonight, Raven watched. This took place at the Fleet Center in Boston, Massachusetts in 2003 from the 2003 WWE Royal Rumble.
Now, I will say to you real quick.
Yes.
Well, we talk a lot about WWE on this show, but not all of the matches are WWE matches.
No,
this one just happens to be a match.
Yeah, they're all curated from all across the board. I always do a little fun facts before we let Raven let loose and tell her thoughts on the match. There were 15,338 people in attendance for this particular match. This happened to be the very first Royal Rumble under the WWE name. After it changed from WWF in May of 2002. This is also the first. Yep. This was the first Royal Rumble after they had the very first brand split / brand extension, where I believe it composed of 15 members from Raw, 15 members from SmackDown. And the winner of the match got to face their respective brand's champion.
Question real quick. How did they do the Rumble before? They just
30 random people.
Just 30 people. Okay.
So you know how they've been drawing people for the John Cena's Last Time Is Now tournament?
Yeah.
They would do that for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Interesting.
It was just a mishmash.
Just a bracket. Yeah.
Okay. This is a really freaking cool fact. This is the first Rumble to feature OVW alumni such as John Cena. We saw his very last Royal Rumble this year. You got to watch the pay-per-view where he had his very first Royal Rumble 22 years ago, by the way. I know that's kind of
We didn't watch the Rumble, though.
No, we didn't.
So I didn't.
So this was the very first Royal Rumble featuring John Cena, Batista, and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar would go on to win the Royal Rumble. This would be his very first time winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And this match that we watched was considered the SmackDown main event. They used to do that, by the way. They have a Raw main event and a SmackDown main event.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And this featured Kurt Angle, who came in as the WWE champion. So that was the belt that he came in at. This match was for that title, and he was 34 years old coming into this match. And he took on the Crippler Chris Benoit. I know we all was like, ooh, Chris Benoit, who was 35 coming into this match.
Okay.
This was 4 years before the events that took place that we're not going to get into, but that happened. This was considered the best wrestling match of 2003 when it took place.
So you said this was 4 years before.
4 years before, right? And in this match, very technical match. You had
Ooh, it
two
was.
technical wrestlers that were, I would some would say, were at one of the peaks of their careers at the time. You had Kurt Angle coming out with the world's greatest tag team, Team Angle,
Hmm.
Charlie Haas and Shelton
Yeah.
Benjamin, also one of the best tag teams in WWE, and not of all time, I would dare say, but also at the time. So Chris Benoit would go on to lose this match. Kurt Angle would retain after a grueling, I think, 20-minute long match between the two. Very technical, as one would expect from these two men going into this match.
Yes.
So Raven, what did you think about this match? Now is your time is up. Your time is now.
Stop it.
What do you think about this match, Raven?
So, first of all, I would like to know who put this match on the list. Do you guys know? Who picked this match?
I picked this match.
Did you really?
I totally did. This was
Well, I didn't know about it to begin with, so it couldn't be me.
No.
It was Cameron.
No.
It was
Cameron,
definitely me.
Cameron snuck it in there.
Love
No,
it.
that was me.
No,
I'm responsible.
this was a great pick. So yeah,
I thought it
thank
would
you
be.
for putting them on here.
Yep.
So
For sure.
yeah, I didn't even think of adding a Chris Benoit match. So
Oh, I did.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
I
great
threw a couple out there.
that was a great choice, guys. So I've only seen bits and pieces of Kurt Angle wrestle, but I hadn't actually seen a full match, and I've
Yes.
never seen a full match of Chris Benoit either. And
So you're saying real quick, this was your very first full match of watching Kurt Angle.
yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
it was a very technical match. Like you said,
Oh, yeah.
two very technical wrestlers.
Oh yeah.
I'd never seen anything of Chris Benoit. Like the only thing I'd ever seen of him is like from Dark Side of the Ring.
Hmm. Okay.
Which
Fair.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was my introduction. So
Yikes.
I watched that before I watched wrestling. So a lot of those like documentaries and stuff like that, that is what actually helped get me into wrestling. I'm a
Okay.
huge I like the background of things. Um Not necessarily history, but just backgrounds behind
Yeah.
the scenes, that kind of stuff. So that was my introduction to Chris Benoit. And again, we're not going to go into that whole thing, but
Right. That's a whole nother time to talk about for sure.
Mhm.
it had me watching this match a little bit differently, not because of what happened, so to speak, but because of the moves that he did that kind of, led up to his brain injuries or what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
it did have me kind of viewing the match a little bit differently, in that kind of sense. I thought this was a great match.
Hmm.
This was
Right.
this was a freaking incredible match.
So this is not the bad match.
No, this is not the bad match.
Okay.
No.
That's what I'm.
No. So it's always funny to me, and I always ask Brian, like, when, like, I don't need to know necessarily anything about too much about the match going into it. I obviously knew who both of them were. You don't need a backstory or a storyline with these two. I mean, I didn't need to know anything except that it was a title match, and I mean, I already knew who they were. I guess some things that stuck out to me, I'm always curious about when it is because, like the ring looked so different. The moves are so different. Like one thing I noticed when Kurt Angle busted, it was either his nose or his lip. I'm not sure which one. The ref did not put on gloves. Like, just
Yeah.
things like that, bleeding now, the ref wears gloves and stuff. And it didn't have that back then. And so I always notice those little differences. I look at the signs in the crowd. I look at, like Brian had noticed that they were taking pictures with their actual camera and stuff. So I feel like all of that plays a big part into how the match is received now. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
absolutely.
Yeah. So I always take in all of that. 2003, I think this was like the perfect match for the time. I mean, like I don't have any like criticisms of this match.
Mhm.
Like I don't necessarily think it wasn't like
Okay.
one of the best matches I'd ever seen, but it wasn't, I mean, my jaw wasn't on the floor or anything, but it was just a very good, solid match all around.
Yeah.
And that's why it was one of the best. That's why it was considered in 2003 by a lot of like journalists and
Mhm.
stuff as the best match.
Of
And
the
you know
year.
what's
I
crazy
can
about
see
that?
Yeah.
for sure.
And you know what's crazy about that is that doesn't happen often where a match that happened so early in the year, because I think that was in like January of 03. I mean it beat out WrestleMania. I don't even remember what was on the card for that WrestleMania. I'm sure I can go back and look. But I mean that was
That's interesting.
that it left that much of an impression.
Yeah.
We were talking about what Benoit because I know you were familiar with the more darker side of that
Yeah.
of him,
Yeah.
but I was like, I still want you still have to watch a match of his.
Oh, absolutely. Why
And
would I have nothing against him
the
as a
wrestler,
wrestler? Yeah.
he's still, I mean, what he did was awful, yes, but he's
Facts,
still a
absolute
great technical
facts.
wrestler, right?
Yeah.
And
Best to ever
um,
do it, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. I want to open the floor for you guys to talk for some open discussion about this too. What else did you have to say about this
Oh, I
match?
was just gonna say, I mean, I could see, why a couple of the moves are, have been banned or,
Like the
whatever.
headbutt?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
head,
like nobody does
yeah,
that,
the flying headbutt.
as far as I know.
What I thought was
Yeah.
interesting, what I noticed immediately, and if anybody's been listening, for a while, when I first got into wrestling, I used to confuse Kurt Angle with Chad Gable because I was just getting to know everybody. They have similar builds, similar
I mean, you're not wrong.
factions, right? And so, like, of course, he comes out there tonight in the match, and
Tonight.
yeah, and I mean, it's American made. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
obviously. It was, what did they call themselves? Team Angle,
Team Angle, but
Team Angle. It
Alpha
looks
Team
like
Academy.
Angle,
the A
yeah.
team.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
I
Oh,
was
Alpha
gonna
that's
say, yeah,
exactly what
Alpha
they're doing.
Academy.
Yeah.
Alpha Academy. Well, it's American made now, but when I first started watching, it was Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they changed it to American made. Remember?
Yeah, but anyway.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, so that's immediately what I thought of. And it was just struck me as funny that why I used to get them confused. I mean, like I could totally see it now that I've seen a full match of Kurt Angle.
Mhm.
But now I don't know, I really liked this match. I wouldn't necessarily say I loved it. It was, but it was a great freaking match. And I'm not a huge fan of technical wrestling, but this
Right.
held my attention. Like
Mhm.
this was a freaking great
I
match.
think it's because they're really technical wrestling like that is so hard to find now
It is.
because now
Yeah.
everyone wants big spots. Everyone wants big
Yes.
that's kind of why I have an issue with AEW. Not that I think AEW is horrible, it's not, but I wish I wish there was more, and maybe I'm not watching enough of it. I don't really watch it a whole lot, but
Hmm.
and if, please somebody if you're listening, correct me if I'm wrong, like point out some really good uh technical AEW matches. But um AEW feels like so much high flying and big spots and bloody and stuff now.
Hmm.
And I'm like, are they really just I feel like they're trying a little too hard to be good.
Well, and that's the thing because I kind of consider, to me, sometimes technical wrestling can be a bit boring. Like I don't like a lot of like just on
Mm,
the mat stuff.
okay.
Right.
But this wasn't boring and like but they didn't have a lot of blood and gore and high flying. You know what I mean? It was a lot of flips. It was a lot of like they were constantly
I
moving.
think it has
There wasn't a lot of big breaks. There wasn't
yeah.
a lot of, I mean, like they were constantly moving. And you can tell it takes a lot of strength, a lot of cardio. I mean, it was great.
I think too what helps is how well they sold things.
Oh,
The moves.
absolutely. Yeah.
I mean I hadn't watched
Oh, they're both
anything.
fantastic.
Yeah, I hadn't
Yeah.
watched anything Chris Benoit in forever. And I
Oh, I'm
forgot
sure it
how
was
hard that
refreshing to watch it. Yeah.
I forgot how hard that motherfucker can chop somebody, dude.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he was on
god
my
damn.
top five list of hardest choppers, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
I could see
And
that. Yeah.
god damn those I felt those chops sitting right in front of my TV when I
Yeah.
watched that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's open the floor for discussion on this
Yeah.
now. Uh Cameron, have you seen this match?
Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle
Yes, the one for the WWE title in 03.
in '03. I 100% have, but I haven't seen it recently.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
do remember it was a very technical match, just like Raven said.
Mhm.
And again, I'm kind of parroting what she's saying, what she's been saying all along, but I agree with her sentiments on it. Um, I'm not really much of a fan of technical wrestling, but
Yeah.
when I like a match, I like a match. So
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the fact that Chris Benoit can hit so hard and um, be as intense as he was, and Kurt Angle can show off that kind of skill in that it's almost contrasting to Chris Benoit's style of technical wrestling.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he
I can
does
see
like
that.
more of a shoot style, and
Yes.
Benoit was more like I'll hit you first, and then I'll wear you down enough to throw you around. Um,
I could totally see that. Yeah, because Kurt was like he was just tossing Benoit like it was nothing. Like, and I've
yeah,
seen that before in some
Yes.
wrestlers, but man, I think Kurt has him beat. Like he was just tossing him like Kristen away anything.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. All the constant like back suplexes and
well, yeah, and there was like so many multiple like
yeah,
in
like
a
in a row.
row. And that's why I was like, man, the strength
Yeah.
and the stamina and the cardio, like they just kept moving.
Yeah.
Oh
that's the way
yeah,
I
especially
feel
Kurt
about Brock
Angle.
Lesnar nowadays.
What's that?
That's the way I feel about Brock Lesnar these days. He can just keep throwing people, and
Yeah.
he never seems to get tired. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, but when that's all you do in a match, that
right.
gets
I
I am not the biggest Brock Lesnar guy,
I'm not a huge fan
but
of his either.
I
yeah
can respect him on a strength level.
Oh,
I
yeah.
absolutely.
So you
He is a
you
God.
gotta
freaking beast. He is a freaking
yeah
beast. But
Oh
I
yeah.
don't feel like he has many other moves.
Yeah.
right. Well,
But
I'm drawing the comparison between their
Absolutely.
oh
throwing you
yeah.
around style, like the brutal,
Oh
in
dude,
your
without a
face type of
doubt.
I
yeah
can for sure see
Oh
that.
no doubt. Yeah, and the thing too is about this is when pairing matters here. Um, you
Yes.
have so many people who just like I want to see this guy and this guy, but like, do you really want to see these two? And here, I think if I remember correctly, in that era where this was Ruthless Aggression era WWE, right? Yeah, '03.
Ooh,
So
okay.
oh yeah. It
so
was
we're
the
we're
beginning of
talking
the
like
Ruthless Aggression
right, we're getting
era.
into like John Cena's era, the start of John
Right.
Cena. Um, which was a very unique time because we came out of what some still consider the greatest era of professional wrestling was Attitude Era.
The
Um,
Attitude Era. Right.
mid to late '90s to like maybe early 2000 2001. So we're in a transitional period here in '03. Like I just said earlier, John Cena is going into his very first ever Royal Rumble. So we're really
Yep.
getting into that. So here, if I remember correctly, this was not too long after WCW got purchased by Vince McMahon. So you had a lot of guys coming over from WCW, which Chris
Mm.
Benoit came from WCW.
Oh, okay.
I might throw in
Okay.
a
Yeah.
WCW Chris Benoit match
The
too.
the entire Radicals came over from WCW.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Perry Saturn, fucking
Girl.
Lance Storm came over, Dean Malenko. I mean, those are all technical guys. So like,
I
I
have to.
mean, you know,
Can
yeah,
I say something real quick?
yeah, dude, absolutely.
I have to say, out of all the super kicks that I've ever seen, Lance Storms is still my 100% favorite because he throws his entire body behind it and not just his
Yes.
legs. And I love that so much about it.
And,
He'll take your
you're
head off,
right. And
and I
you're
love
right.
it.
I haven't watched him do a super kick in a while. I'll have to go back and find one to see
Oh
that.
man, find it because
But I do remember
it's
Lance Storm
pristine.
was always one of my favorite people, like watching
Yeah,
WCW and then WWE. But
if
that
I
was
can
a
be
time
serious for a moment,
where Vince had purchased WCW, and then you had the Radicals come over. Then you had Booker T coming over. Um, like Buff Bagwell had a few matches. Actually, on this Royal Rumble, I think there was a match between Scott Steiner and Triple H that was right before this match on the
oh,
card,
I believe
and that
so.
was
Yeah,
from memory a really good match. But then they just didn't know what to do with Steiner at this point, and they just kind of tossed him away. So I mean, you had a
unfortunately,
lot of big people from WCW coming over into WWE at the time. So I mean, this was a big, huge, kind of like how it is now in a way with this whole mess of going on with TNA and WWE.
Yeah.
Although, granted, you're hard pressed to find a lot of great people solely from TNA. I think. Ooh, I might have made somebody
Right.
mad.
Well,
This era of TNA, anyway. We're going
yeah.
like we go 10 years ago, maybe a whole different thing. But like the pairing between these two, I remember, and it in my memory sparked watching, and when they had said that they were going to do this match, I remember being so excited for this because this is peak Kurt Angle, peak Chris Benoit, and this is before we even got Kurt Angle going into TNA, where he just he rekindled his career. We need to have you watch a match of Kurt Angle in TNA because he was super insanely
Oh,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Cameron knows what I'm talking about. And
Oh,
so,
yeah.
like his matches with like Samoa Joe were so fire, dude. I know Cameron knows what I'm talking about. I know Josh does too.
Oh,
But
yeah. There's a
but
certain name for this era of Kurt Angle in TNA.
yeah, yeah, there is. Yeah, but but
You'll learn that later, Raven. I promise.
but she'll find out. But
Oh, yeah.
Josh, you have any thoughts about these two? And I think this was the first one of their first matches they had together.
Well, it's crazy because that you were the one that ended up picking this match because I did throw out some other not Kurt Angle, Chris
Just been
Benoit
one, yeah.
matches because
Mm-hmm.
I specifically wanted Raven to see some of those because I feel like it's one of those things where one of the best careers ever was shadowed by something terrible.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are afraid to talk about it, but it's definitely one of those things that I've always been controversially on the forefront of like, hey, this fucking happened. Pay attention,
Exactly.
Right.
for
Yeah.
multiple reasons. But at the same time, like, man, that was a great match. I love Kurt Angle so much, especially when he ended up not being a dickhead in person was so much better. So it's like I love going back and watching Kurt Angle, and this is definitely one of the ones that
Yeah.
um, as soon as I realized what the match was, like I don't know if you could tell, I've been excited. I was like, oh shit, it's that Kurt Angle Benoit.
I gotta ask. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go for it.
no, I was just saying I was excited about it. So
Look, yeah, dude. What I want to ask you guys, Josh and Cameron, you being the more you've been in the ring
On the other side of it.
on the
Yeah.
other side of it, and I would think you'd have to agree with me on this. I know you guys haven't watched this match recently, but would you
no.
agree with me? Because what I think this match really excelled in the most, and I noticed this at the end because Chris Benoit does not win the match, right? He loses this
No.
match, and he just
Yeah.
he fights for it. He fights to like
Oh yeah.
he does all the reverse
Yeah, like
rolls
at the
for
very end, I was just like, don't
yeah.
do it. And then he tapped.
And
It's like, do it.
I would say this is true, but well, I'll ask you guys. Wouldn't you say that one of the hardest things to do is to make your opponent look really good after a defeat, after a loss?
Honestly, yes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, you have to kind of balance it, make them a worthy opponent for yourself. Because if you go through the match and even building up to the match, if you bury them, then who did you beat? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh, would you feel the same way? Would that be the same for you as well? That
Yeah.
it's kind of tough to make your opponent. One of the hardest things you can do is still make your opponent look good after taking a loss.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of the art,
Yeah, I mean, and I think in this match in particular, this was truly just a showcase of how to do that. I think if you're going to point to an example of if you're teaching if you're at like a wrestling academy and you're teaching on how you're teaching your students how to make your opponent look good in a loss. I would say this is probably one of, if not the best examples because both these guys looked like they won this match at the end of it all.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
don't. I mean, really though, I think that both competitors. I mean, yes, Angle won, but the fans ultimately won because this is a top-notch match.
They were definitely both worthy opponents. Like, you have some matches, especially
Yes.
today, that, you're just like, why is this person even in this match? How did this happen? Like, I wanted to, like you had
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
pairing is everything. Like you had said that, people might want this person and this person or whatever, but I mean, some of the matches today, the pairing just doesn't make sense. This was exceptional.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. It was a very and this is not the first time that Kurt and Chris had wrestled each other. They had wrestled each other previously in like 2001. I think their very first match was at WrestleMania X7 against each other. So their very first match ever was at WrestleMania.
So
But
Wow.
yeah,
So
So
you're
you're
talking,
telling me that the other match that they had before this was like 2 years
no, that wasn't
prior?
the match they had before this one.
I mean, like they had
Had
wrestled
other
between
matches.
those two. I was just like,
Yeah.
holy shit, because they seemed so in sync. Like
Yeah, they knew each other very
they,
well
yeah, they
at
had
that
seemed
point.
very familiar with the other.
I think they even had like a 30-minute Iron Man match or submission. No, they had an ultimate submissions match where
Yeah.
it was like whoever had the most submissions at the end of 30 minutes.
Oh man, I bet that's a
I need
good
to put
one.
that one in there for you
I
too.
have, I have
You don't,
to,
But now
I,
I'm just gonna go watch it. I don't need everything to be on a
that's
list.
true.
I
That
can
is
go
true.
watch it now.
That's true.
I
Cameron, what
have
are you
to
going
add
to?
something.
Yeah.
The WrestleMania X7, you said they had their one of the first matches in WWE.
Yes.
That was the same card that the main event was Stone Cold versus The Rock for the championship.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know, right?
interesting.
What a
Yeah.
huge card that was.
That
That
was a
was a
big one.
huge
That's
card.
actually one of my favorite WrestleManias of all time. Is
I will
X7.
agree with you on that.
Absolutely. Without question.
Yeah.
All right. Did anybody else have any comments? Anything they wanted to add? Maybe you had a thought about the two, either Kurt Angle or Chris Benoit. I would say for me, Kurt Angle is easily probably in my top 15 wrestlers of all time. Um,
Oh yeah.
so
Oh
good.
yeah.
I've had the pleasure of meeting him about 3 or 4 different times.
Mhm.
Um, I never got to meet Chris Benoit.
No.
Um, you know, uh, say what you want about him, which is fair about the other things he was responsible for. However, that does not take away the fact that he was one of the best damn technical wrestlers on the planet. I mean, the guy could go.
Yeah, I agree
Um,
with you on that as
it's
well.
it's an absolute damn shame
Yeah.
what happened to him ultimately and what he did ultimately. However, and it just kind of you always are just like, what if? What if he was still here? What
Yeah.
if he? Who could he be in the ring with now? Like, could you imagine like him and AJ Styles, dude? Or
Oh
just
That would be
man,
sick.
I mean, just
that'd
I
be
I
one of the
actually
greatest
thought
matches I've ever
of
seen.
yeah,
I
it'd be
actually
so
thought
fucking
of
good.
AJ Styles a couple of times
I
during
did
the
too.
match. So
Or
Mhm.
just I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to think of like current, maybe even him and like Dominic Mysterio for fun. Like
That'd be
how they're
great.
Yeah,
my gosh, that
all
would be
things considered with how close Chris Benoit and Eddie were as
yeah.
friends.
Yeah, that would
Him
be
and
crazy.
him and Dom would
Mhm.
be pretty good
he
Mhm.
would.
too.
They would probably book him to in such a way that he would show up, and even if Eddie in this alternative reality was passed away, he would show up and whip Dom into shape for his uncle Eddie.
Oh yeah, he
And
would too.
that's the
You're
way
right
they would.
about that too.
Yeah.
He would be right there with cheering on Dom.
Mhm.
But
Right. Well,
that's
I mean that's the one storyline I feel like would play out exactly as
oh yeah,
I think it would because um, he would come in and say you're not doing your uncle Eddie any favors by acting this way, and I'm here to teach you a lesson. Something along those lines. That would
oh
be an
Mhm.
amazing match. Just
yeah,
kind of like a mentor whipping his um,
his
protege back
nephew's
into shape.
ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Think
Yeah.
I think the one last thing really I wanted to say about the match is and you really, and I mentioned it briefly earlier, you don't really need a storyline. Like I didn't need to
Yeah.
know a backstory. I didn't, and it wasn't because I was familiar with the wrestlers because I'd never seen them wrestle before. I mean, I obviously was familiar with them, but I
Yeah.
know a lot of names in wrestling now. But this one, you truly do not need a backstory. You don't need a storyline. Like there are just some matches and some wrestlers that I feel like they could pull off any kind of match. And I've only seen them wrestle in the entirety in this one match, but I feel like both of them are or were those kind of wrestlers. Like you could throw them into any match and they would just like kill it.
Right.
Oh,
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely agree with that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on now to the main event portion of our podcast. By the way, take a
Ding
quick
ding.
break. Just I'm sorry, Josh.
I said ding ding.
All right.
You know it.
Okay. But I want to take a quick break and mention our sponsor, SeatGeek. SeatGeek is one of the largest ticketing apps and websites here in North America. And thanks to SeatGeek, they've given us the ability to give you $20 off your very first purchase of $50 or more. You can go to you can download the SeatGeek app today on Android or iOS devices, or you can go to SeatGeek.com. Use our promo code, the domain GPCE10. Once again, you can save $20 on your very first purchase of $50 more. So get tickets now for pro wrestling shows. I know those tickets are not getting cheap. You can get tickets to concerts and other sports events as well. Thanks, SeatGeek, for that. And we're going to go ahead and get into our main event discussion, which is favorite title reigns. Now, this is not, this could be across any and all promotions, WWE, ECW, maybe WCW, AEW for that matter, any, even independent ones, maybe OVW, maybe some local ones. And I think I'm going to start this one because one came to mind. And I'm curious to hear what Raven will have for this because she does not have a big, deep history like we do.
No, and that was actually one of the reasons I was asking about the belt with the Angle Benoit match
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm just like I didn't even pay attention
Yeah.
to what it was.
I want to talk about in 2004 a guy some of you might know as JBL.
Oh,
His championship reign is
Yeah.
he was the WWE champion, John Bradshaw Layfield. I think they actually booked him to be a really good heel.
He was natural.
He was just he's just a
So natural at
natural
it.
bad guy. And he had like some banger matches. Like he had a really good one with Undertaker. He had a really good one with Eddie that kind of started the whole thing. Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
He had like a bull rope match with Eddie Guerrero. He had
I've never seen a bull rope match, but I've heard of it.
Oh.
I've not seen a bull rope match.
You did. Yeah, you did.
And
that was the one with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre where they had to hit the four corners of the match.
Oh, that's what that is? Okay,
Yeah.
then I'm thinking of something different. Anyway, go ahead. Meh.
He had and I'm looking at my list here. He had a last man standing match with Angle. This is all during his run, by the way.
Okay.
He had a barbed wire cage match with the Big Show.
Dang.
Yeah.
He had a last ride match versus the Undertaker. That was that match. And then he had a fatal four-way match. Oh, he had a three-way match. Jesus. He had a three-way match, a triple threat match with Big Show and Kurt Angle.
Yes, just use the technical term.
And then he had a match with John Cena, which was an I Quit match.
Oh.
So I don't know. Do Cameron or Josh, do you guys remember this? He had a big heel run during this time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I almost don't remember anything but his heel run when it comes to
I was gonna say, yeah,
that time period.
Yeah, that was his like peak, right? Like that's kind of what I remember. Like I remember he had remember he had the fake neck brace. He was pretending like he was injured.
The broken
I
freaking
can
neck.
totally see that.
Oh,
That's hilarious.
It was funny.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that obviously I knew
you know who he is.
yes,
Yeah.
obviously I knew he was a big name in WWE because they keep having him back as like a mentor and he was like trying to, who was it? Austin Theory? Was it Theory? Who was trying to So but I never
No, it was Baron Corbin when he was happy.
Corbin when he was happy. Thank you. I couldn't remember who it was.
That terrible.
That was awful.
Yeah.
But
awful.
So that is my association with him. Like I never knew I never knew he was that big of a deal. I didn't know he had a huge title run. I didn't know he did all those cool matches. I've never seen him wrestle. Like
well, we can change that.
I didn't even know he was a big
wrestler.
Does that make sense? Like
he actually had this his own like stable or / faction called the Cabinet. Do you guys remember that?
No.
He was like this big ass.
Any of this.
Yeah.
The only thing that you have mentioned that I can picture with him is the freaking neck brace. Because I could totally see him doing that. But all I've ever known him as is him coming out there in the suit jackets and the freaking cowboy hat. That's all I know him as.
Yeah, he had a stable from 2004 to 2006 called the Cabinet. and it was consisted of Orlando Jordan, and Amy Weber was his image consultant, and then he had the Basham brothers, Doug and Danny Basham. You
Oh
know
my
Doug
gosh.
Basham,
Yeah,
Oh,
Sugar
wow.
Bash.
Mhm.
That's
They were the
hilarious.
co-secretaries of defense.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
All of this sounds so horribly funny.
It was
It
actually
really
pretty.
does.
The ruthless aggression era was something.
was
Sounds
great.
very
It's
wild.
Definitely.
It was an era,
It sounds
quite the era.
wild.
It seems like they were throwing a bunch of ideas against the wall and seeing
They
what stuck.
totally
That would
were.
stick. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes
I
sense.
think we need to do an episode of this show where we go through the eras.
Ooh, I love that
Oh,
idea.
that'd be amazing.
Yes.
That'd be sick.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
that idea.
I think Cameron wants to be on
I
that.
know.
Cameron's like, I'm down. Like,
I'm down like a clown.
you are welcome on here anytime, by the way.
Anytime, yeah.
I appreciate that. I just don't want to
But-
overstay my welcome and
No, not at all,
go into
dude.
too much.
Brother, not at all, man. No, but this was one of I really hated him at the time. But now looking back, I'm like, okay, you guys ever have that happen where you're like, we've been watching now, this will happen to you. I don't think you've watched enough pro wrestling to really be like, all right, I do appreciate that for what it was back then. But I know between Josh, Cameron, and I know we've got like at least 10 to 20 years of pro wrestling we've watched and consumed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of those where in the moment I really, and that's that was an era where
No, I
I
don't have that with
really-
an era, but I have that with a faction.
I really hated JBL at the time because his heel character was so good at making me not like him.
Mhm.
And I was still, this is like 20 years ago, so I'm still a little young and didn't know the world, at like 18, 20.
Yeah.
You were just
I
a
didn't
wee
really,
babe.
I didn't really, I didn't
We
do that
little
whole,
Brian.
didn't do that whole cheer for the heels and boo the faces like I do now, right? So back then I was very caught up in I guess the kayfabe, right? Was kind of,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
but looking back on it now as a 41-year-old man, I'm like, that was some good shit. Like he really got me to hate him. I remember one
Yeah,
time I got
he did
so
his
mad
job.
at JBL. I was at a SmackDown in Indianapolis, Indiana. I have a JBL memory.
Oh,
Okay.
God, okay.
There was a family of 4 in front of me. All their kids were like at least 7 or 8. And he came out and he has this entrance where his entire shtick was like he was a multi-million-dollar guy. Like, he was a
God, I
billionaire.
Oh,
remember that, yeah.
Okay.
man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super wealthy dude.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
And
that's
he
what I-
came out in a limousine,
Oh, jeez.
had probably one of the worst. Like, dude, the moment you heard his music, you wanted to boo the fuck out of him. Like, I can just hear it right
Yeah.
now. That dumb shit. And had a fucking cow mooing and shit during his.
Yeah.
So dumb,
All of
dude.
this sounds awful.
And he came out in a limousine that would be driven out to the entrance ramp. And so I'm at SmackDown with a friend of mine, and there's a fucking family of 4. And he came out. I said, "You stupid!" I stood up and I like gave him the finger. I said, "You stupid motherfucker!" And this dad in front of me goes, "I have children here. You can't." I said, "I don't give a fuck about your kids."
That is
Who's
That's
the real
amazing.
bad guy, Brian?
I was that guy. I was that
Yeah.
guy. You damn right I was that guy.
But I mean, what were they expecting to bring them to?
This is a family shit. What do you think this shit? This ain't John Cena. Fuck out of here.
But not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
That's
That's
my
yet is the
J-
key word.
That's my JBL memory. But looking back on it now, he did a really damn good job of making you not like him. And
Oh,
he
yeah.
did have some real banger matches. Looking back on it all. But when we were talking about favorite championship reigns, I will say now, looking back on it, that was a really great time to watch someone be a heel. And I'm
Yeah.
big on heel championship reigns. I think I'm probably
Me
more
too.
I think I'm more into watching the bad guy be a champion than I am the good guy. Because
Yeah.
the good guys just got it. Now what? It's kind of like Cody Rhodes. Okay, now what?
Yeah.
Like now what now? I'm
Yeah.
bored, so anybody okay, what's everybody else got? What's a favorite championship run or reign
Well,
that you've
we can't
experienced?
talk about best, favorites and stuff like that without bringing up Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, he made the smoking skull belt like that.
Oh,
that
yeah,
one was
I
iconic
100%
to
agree with that.
everyone our age range.
1998
Oh, yeah.
baby was a hell of a
Yeah.
year. Yeah, dude.
Austin
I-
360 says I just whooped your ass.
Bro,
That's right.
him being the champ, and I remember when he was like the general manager, like he came in and he fucked up
Yeah.
Vince McMahon, And that was such a great time to watch, like, because
Oh
that was an era where
man.
people were pissed off at their bosses and they needed to see
Yeah.
somebody take it out on their boss. And you got to see Stone Cold like just fucking tear into Vince McMahon.
Vicariously living through Steve Austin. Yeah.
Like his title reign he had in '98 was so good. He had some damn great matches against The Rock. He
Yeah.
had some great matches against Triple H.
Yeah.
Um, just that whole man, dude. I think '98 is probably one of my favorite years of professional wrestling. Like
It was
he's
a great year.
such a good fucking year, and him like kissing Vince McMahon off when he won the belt, dude, made him so fucking mad when he won.
Yes.
Uh, when
Yes.
he when he beat Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania with Mike Tyson as the special guest referee,
Oh my gosh.
and Mike Tyson screwed HBK, right?
Oh,
Which was fucking hilarious, and it just
No,
made
it
Vince
really was.
so damn mad. And that just, I mean, and you never knew what Stone Cold was going to come out with. I mean, he
Yeah.
would. You remember when he had the fucking beer truck? He came out and he sprayed beer all over everybody.
Sprayed
That was
everybody.
Oh
so
yeah.
funny, dude.
The beer bath.
Great.
God,
that would be so
Yeah.
much.
that was, oh man.
I
Yeah, we
don't
can't.
feel like they could pull that off today, though.
No.
I don't. I think we
It's
should. Why the
too
hell not?
family friendly.
Do it.
Well, I mean,
Do it.
yeah, I agree with you on that, but it would be like too family friendly. There'd be a kid in the front row that would get sprayed or something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. That damn John Cena. He started all that, didn't he? That son of
yeah.
God damn it.
Damn it, John.
Yeah. You guys got a Cameron, you have a particular like title reign that it doesn't have to be a big title, but like could be like IC title that you think was really like that kind of stuck with you that you enjoyed?
Um, two in particular. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed um the title match that I just previously mentioned in X7 with The Rock and Stone Cold. The build up to that was amazing. Um,
Yeah.
I also can't mention title reigns without Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Him beating Brock Lesnar, that entire feud.
that Yeah, even as a kid, because I idolized Brock Lesnar because I've always been a huge fan of feats of strength because I've always
Okay, that's
seen
fair.
myself, yeah, I've always seen
Yeah.
myself as trying to find the next feat of strength to accomplish,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
watching somebody throw people around like that just haphazardly, like Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar could. I was like, this guy cannot be beat. There's no way. And then when
Oh
Eddie
yeah.
beat him, I was my heart dropped, but in the best ways. I was like, somebody finally did it. He finally did it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And even as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, this is what being a wrestling fan truly is. This is why I want to be a wrestler
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen
Okay.
watching it all play out in front of you.
Yeah, it had a very like David and Goliath type feel to it. Because like I remember
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
there's a very specific promo, and I showed Raven this promo where Eddie comes
Oh,
out and
the
he
drug
he
user promo.
confronts, and it's a very emotional thing where he's like, this is my ring, Holmes, and I like, this is my work, this is my job, this is what I do, I bust my ass. And I'm like, damn, I just got chills just now thinking about
Yeah.
it. And if you've ever read Eddie Guerrero's book, which if you have not read his book, you absolutely need to read his book. He goes into all those struggles because he
Yeah.
talks about how he had to fight drugs. He says this in his promo. I had to
Yeah.
overcome drugs. I had to overcome alcohol. And he goes, I'm gonna overcome your ass this Sunday. I'm like, fuck yeah, you are. You're gonna beat his ass. Like I wanted Warner
Right.
Brothers to do so bad, and I was like,
I think
yes.
everybody did.
That was one of the most iconic promos of the modern era, honestly.
Oh man, and it was, and he beat him at No Way Out, and it
Yeah.
was you got to watch that match. Well, I won't put that in there, but we'll have to
That
watch
then
it.
he's
Yeah.
oh okay.
So good, and the fact that he wins it, and then Benoit wins his. We can't talk about Benoit's either,
Yeah.
because he won it at WrestleMania. Remember?
Yeah.
I
And
remember that.
and they
And the
they
big
had that
hug.
hug. Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
what a time to be alive and watch pro wrestling. Like that was
Man.
just, oh
That
God.
98.
that right there, the hug between Eddie and Chris felt like kind of a shift in the eras. I feel like
Yeah.
it was a changing of the times in that moment.
Yeah, because you had
And
two guys who that's not something you see WWE do now, right?
No.
yeah,
Now
and
it's they build up these dudes who they have to be big superstars. And at the
Mhm.
time,
Yeah.
and this is no slight to either Eddie or Chris, they weren't really like that compared
Yeah.
to, yeah, John Cena, Dave Batista, I mean, you had these huge
Huge
names.
guys. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then I remember at the time, a lot of us didn't think Eddie was going to beat Brock because there was this whole, once again, this was early days of early 2000s, early ruthless aggression, where
Right.
you had WCW that was purchased by Vince McMahon. And let's see, what year was that? Hold on, when did Eddie beat
2001. No, never
the,
mind this.
when did Eddie beat Brock? This was in 2004.
Yeah,
So this
well,
this was still a few years after.
Mm.
And there
yeah.
was
Vince
rumors go
Vince
around
bought
that
WCW and ECW in I want to say 01 or 02, something like
2001,
that, didn't
I
he?
think it was 01.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there was rumors of how Vince would probably never put over WCW guys because he wanted to. People was like, the dirt
Right. He was
sheets
like,
were
"Fuck
like,
those guys."
no, I'm
He
never going
wanted
to put
to
over WCW. I
Yeah.
bought my
Fuck them.
competition out not to put them over.
Oh
he
shit.
wanted
So
to assert his brand dominance.
yeah, and so
Wow.
and so for that to happen, and both Eddie and Chris to win those titles, and I think it was in the exact same year, if memory serves me right, was crazy. And so, looking back on that was such a. I remember just waiting with bated breath for that match to happen on No Way Out. That was like a WrestleMania caliber match. They could have easily done that at WrestleMania that year, but they didn't. Um, Raven, what's one that speaks to you? I know you've been waiting patiently. What's a title reign? Now, granted, you've only been a fan for about 3 or 4
Right.
years. So, what is it in this current era that we're in that has really like popped for you?
So, I was mentioning this, I think last week or last time, or not even on the show, but
Mhm.
to you that I don't really know. I still don't differentiate the titles and like the belts and the names. Like the only one that I know
Right.
what it is the Intercontinental Championship. It's not that I don't know there's a WWE belt and tag team belt. Like I wouldn't know it by looking at it. Like I would have absolutely no idea what it is. I don't know all the names of them.
Uh-huh.
So this is going to be so stupid because he held the belt for so fucking long. But I don't know what belt Roman Reigns had. I don't know what title he had.
So he had two. So he had two.
The
So
one that he had when first like 1,000 some days.
okay. So the 1,000 day reign was the end. So what happened was is he had two belts at once.
Okay.
He had beat Brock Lesnar 4 years ago for, I believe that was the Universal Championship. Or no, he was the Universal Championship. He beat Lesnar for the Undisputed Championship,
And the Undisputed is the one that he held for
and so they combined them
into the Undisputed.
into like saying that he had 1,000 day plus reign.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Okay. All
Because
right.
he would lift up both at the same time,
Yeah.
and then he kind of like traded them into Triple H, and he got the one belt, and that's the belt
Hmm.
that now Cody and everybody has. Like,
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha. So that one that stands out to me because he was so I have two of them. So that one in particular because of course he was champion forever when I started watching. And I was kind of surprised that people held belts and titles for that long. Like I didn't know anything about the
yeah,
titles at that point. Um but yeah, I mean, his was a standout to me. They did a lot of, of course, now learning his backstory and everything in WWE and
Yeah.
watching that documentary and everything. It really, I mean, he did a great job with that belt. I mean, at least for me. I mean, that was very memorable. It was one of the reasons that I kept coming back to watch um every week.
Hmm.
Because at that point I didn't know there were two. I didn't know there was Raw and there was SmackDown. We started watching Raw every week, and then they would show like what had happened during SmackDown, and this. And I kept asking Brian, "Why are we not watching this? Why are we not watching this?" And then we eventually started
Yeah.
watching SmackDown. But I mean, like honestly, that whole storyline was, and the bloodline was the entire reason I kept coming back to watch it. So that was really memorable for me to, I got into it for something else, but then that's what kept me coming back. And one of the things that kept me coming back. So I don't know. I don't know that that's necessarily more of his title reign as it was just the entire storyline, overall, but that's what I associate it with. And then the other one I thought,
Yes.
the other one that comes to mind is also held the belt for a long time when I started watching, was Gunther and the Intercontinental
Oh yeah, he had
Yes.
a
That was a
666
great
day reign.
reign.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
that was
feel
an
like
excellent
now
reign.
this one for me definitely is the title run.
Okay,
He
that's fair.
I just felt like he brought so much prestige to that title. I I don't think they've done him. I don't think WWE has done as well with him as they did with when he held that title.
No.
Oh, I completely agree.
I feel like this was like, and again, I hadn't been watching that long. I didn't know him when he was Walter or anything like that, but I feel like this was like his peak. I mean, like
So
he's still very popular and everything, but I feel like this was kind of like peak Gunther.
so I want to comment on this because I'm glad you brought his reign up. I thought you might.
Yeah, I freaking loved
You know what? You
his
know what?
title run.
What Gunther reminds me of in WWE? You know how certain actors in movies get typecast for a role?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
feel like he's
Oh yeah,
typecast as a
100%.
champ. I feel like he's typecast as a champion.
Yeah.
Outside that, it's
And
like,
then he
okay,
doesn't
whatever.
do anything when he doesn't have a belt.
Yeah, it's like I don't
I
care.
totally see that.
It's
That's
like
a
I
great
it's like
analogy.
I don't, and this is no slight to him because it's how he is booked, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
not. But when you give me a guy like him, you put him in a fat in a little faction, with Imperium,
Mm-hmm.
um, which really Ludwig was the guy. The other guy, Giovanni, was like didn't care about him,
Yeah.
which is why he's no longer with the company.
Right.
But he just it's just like when he's not the champ, which I feel he's going to win the last time is now tournament,
Mhm.
and he's going to be the IC champion unless Dominic beats him unless Dominic beats John Cena at Survivor Series in their rematch. But I just kind of I wish he wasn't that. I wish he was a guy that like, all right, I wish he was a guy like Cody Rhodes. I could care about him with or without the title.
Right.
I care about him without the belt just as much as I care about him with the title.
No, but I think you said it perfectly. I think he's
Gunther
best
is
for sure.
this guy who he's not the champion. All right, well, don't care so much. That sounds
Yeah,
so
wait
bad.
till he is. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
it's one of those things that I kind of agree with you on that.
mm,
Just kind of add on to what you said. He's not the champion. I'll just wait till he is to watch the match.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. And it's not that he's a bad wrestler. He is not that at all. He is a great wrestler. You know,
Right.
he won his match against Javon Evans, which was a fantastic match. Both those guys put on a
Mhm.
really good match this past Monday Night Raw
Yeah.
in the last time is now tournament. But for me, it's maybe it's because I need more theatrics from him and not just his wrestling.
Yeah.
Because there are some
I
people
agree.
who they expect you to lean on their wrestling, but guys, this is wrestling. Wrestling is unfortunately pro wrestling is not just about the pro wrestling, right? It's fair to say. It's about why am I watching
Very
this
fair.
match,
So,
Yeah.
right?
just to kind of, this is the difference between the match that I watched tonight.
I was gonna bring that. It's so funny. We're in the same.
When you were like, oh, yeah, it's wrestling, but it's not just about wrestling. I'm just like,
Sometimes it is. It depends on who.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, the pairing at the match I saw tonight is, I feel like it's very rare that you have that anymore. I feel like it has definitely gotten more into the ways of entertainment now. I haven't seen all of the, all of the past crap that you guys have said has, like
Hmm. You don't
aired
even
and
know.
everything. Yeah, I know. I
You
don't
don't.
want to.
You
I
know.
don't want to know all of that. I don't want to see all of that.
You don't know the struggle, Raven. You don't know the struggle
I know.
for like 20 plus years.
But I don't know. I just feel like that's the total opposite of what I watched tonight. But those kind of matches I feel like are rare anymore. I feel like it
Yeah,
definitely has to be, unfortunately, more than the wrestling now.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Josh is
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I like a good mix of I come to watch pro wrestling to be entertained, not just in the ring. Um, I think will be an interesting thing to do would be to have an entire match card that has no build up to see how that goes. If we want to just do a pure wrestling show
Just
where
exhibition
there's
matches.
yeah, like I don't you can you watch this match and know nothing about why, right? But now nowadays you kind of need the why, right? Because you want every match to have a weight to it, right? And I think that's important still. But there are some matches like the one we watched tonight where you didn't know jack shit about the build up. You didn't know about these guys at
Right.
all, why they're here, why
Didn't
they're
need
doing this.
to.
But
It
that's
was
what's great about
great.
this, and that's a very rare thing that happens.
Right. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
not
Like
happening all the time.
that's yeah, I feel like those matches are rare anymore.
But one thing I wanted to mention about the IC title in general,
Yeah.
you don't know this. This is where this goes back to the struggle
Okay.
some of us have. Is this goddamn belt, the IC title, was like a it wasn't even like a mid card title. It felt like it didn't even exist. I know Josh and maybe Cam, you might know what I'm talking about. There for a while, the IC title was like never defended. Like it barely happened.
Yeah.
It like never showed up at WrestleMania. There were like they would have
Forgotten
like
about,
four
really.
manias in a row that never had an IC title match on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like it was like okay, because you almost forgot that the belt existed until you saw it on like a SmackDown or a Raw. But
So
now that's not the
Yeah.
case.
it's funny that you mentioned you almost forgot about it because I couldn't tell you who had the title after Gunther, and I couldn't tell you I didn't care about this title again consciously until Dom had it, and I'm really mad he lost it. But
Well, let's see. Jay Uso had the title after Gunther,
oh duh,
and then Gunther beat the shit out of Jay Uso to get it back,
yeah,
and then Dom beat Gunther.
yeah. Which Dom?
No, to the back.
I was like Dom
Sorry,
beat Gunther.
sorry. I take that back. Sami Zayn beat Gunther for it at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Then Jay
was
beat,
dumb.
and then Gunther beat Sammy back for it, and then I think Jay beat Gunther for it, and then Dom beat Jay. I think that's the current lineage of the belt. Oh, and then John Cena won it.
Just
Anyway, um,
John Cena just me.
one reign I want to talk about, as we kind of get to the end of our show here, is I got to talk about a women's reign in particular. We haven't mentioned any
Right.
women title reigns. I would be
I'm with you on
amiss
this.
Great point.
if I did not talk about the 514-day reign, I think is how many days it was, of Asuka being the NXT Women's Champion.
Holy shit!
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And you don't know a lot of early
No one
Asuka.
was ready for
No.
Asuka.
No one was ready. Nobody was ready. And you know who also was definitely not ready for Asuka? Bill Goldberg. Because
oh God, what?
there was a feud.
Bill Goldberg.
Here was laughing. Bill Goldberg. I got you back, Brett. So Asuka surpassed in her time in WWE, amassing 914 days of wins, and she beat Goldberg's quote unquote. I still don't know if that's kayfabe or not, by the way. 173-0 run as a win streak, and there was actually a legitimate public feud
Oh my God.
between Asuka and Bill Goldberg, because Bill Goldberg is the guy with the absolute biggest chip on his shoulder
Why does
in
this
professional
not
wrestling.
surprise me?
However, I've heard he's nothing but the nicest guy to meet in person. I could see that. He got real pissed. He got legitimately mad about it. But yes, Asuka did have like a 500+ day reign as the women's NXT Women's Champion when she got into WWE. She had an amazing run, and trying to think of some of the matches. I think she ended up taking on like Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania at one point. She had it was an over 2 year streak. I think she dropped the belt to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. That's when it ended. But I just remember Goldberg saying, "Oh, they did it to me on purpose. They purposely did it. They wanted to erase my." I'm like, brother, no one's gonna forget about you squashing people left and right on WCW Thunder back in like.
Right.
No one's gonna forget that. But
Yeah.
yeah, Asuka had a hell of a reign though. That was
She really, yeah, she deserved it too, though.
She absolutely deserved it. Yes.
So another
Yes.
that I have to mention, talking about the women's now,
Okay.
that I was super excited for when it happened.
Oh, I know you're gonna talk about.
No, you don't.
Oh, maybe
I
not.
bet you think you know.
Okay.
You
I'm
think
not
you
talking
know?
about I'm not talking about Maxine.
Hers just started. So
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Chelsea. Chelsea Green.
Chelsea
when she won the
Green.
U.S. title.
Yes, a Canadian winning the women's and was the first holder of this belt. And just give her all the belts, okay? I just fucking love Chelsea Green. Like she can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah.
I just absolutely adore her. But yeah, I was really excited for her title run. Which is she has it again. Doesn't she still have it? And she has the AAA
Yeah, she
belt
has
too?
that, and then
Yeah.
her and Ethan Page
Mhm.
are the AAA tag team.
The tag team. Yeah,
Yeah, which I think is a great pairing because they're both Canadian.
that's
It's funny.
funny.
Yes.
Ethan Page is my homie. He's pretty great.
Oh yeah,
A
yeah.
Canadian has the U.S.
Yeah.
championship and the AAA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does anybody have another one they want to talk about real quick before
Well,
we wrap
yeah,
up?
because we talked about the Intercontinental Championship, and we've talked about women, but we didn't talk
Yes.
about that time that China had the men's Intercontinental Championship.
Ooh.
Yeah, and more specifically, she was co-champion
Yeah,
with Chris Jericho,
with
who
Jericho.
who you just met,
What?
who you just met like a few weeks.
I missed out on so much.
Yeah. So yeah, China. I believe was she not the first woman to win a men's title in WWE? I would like to think that
That's
I
she
believe
was.
sad.
I
so. Yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
Believe so. Yeah, but she yeah, she there was a triple threat match. I think it was her, Jericho, and I want to say Kurt Angle, and they both covered Kurt
Yeah.
and the ref pinned, and they
Yeah.
both won the title. Yeah, they were the first and only co Intercontinental champions, and like I remember those bits being funny too because that was the funniest pairing of like two people to
Yeah.
have the title.
Yeah.
And I think they both had to come out and defend it, right? Didn't they both have to defend it? Something like that?
Believe so.
Or they
Yeah.
rotated out who defended it or whatever? Yeah.
Yes, I
The
just
Freebird
Googled it.
rule.
It
Yeah.
does say that she was the first woman to win a major men's championship in professional wrestling, and she won it on October 17th, 1999.
Yeah. Late 90s. Once again, Attitude Era, baby.
Good
Yeah.
housekeeping.
Attitude Era, I'm telling you, it's still probably one of the best damn eras.
What is a good housekeeping?
A good housekeeping match? Oh my God. Okay, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
even know, dude.
Let's bring that.
Oh,
She
Jesus.
defeated Jeff Jarrett in a good housekeeping match.
Yeah, they have like all these fucking things out on the outside the ring, like to like rooms and shit.
What the fuck? Okay.
Welcome to the Attitude Era. I think we
Oh,
should
yeah.
definitely do it. We
Some
gotta do
crazy match
gotta
types.
do eras. We got
Yeah.
to do an eras episode and just kind of go through them, or maybe do like a whole podcast episode about an era. Like we could start with like the character era of the early '80s, and then just one by one go into towards the downfall of pro wrestling. No, I'm just playing, but the downfall of pro wrestling. How Cameron is going to save. How Cameron's going to single-handedly save pro wrestling. He's going to do it by himself.
Yeah. The
That was like, what, 20? Was
the rise and fall of
27
professional
years?
wrestling.
The rise and fall of
Such good
professional wrestling.
shit.
Oh my God.
They wrote books about
Um,
this shit.
Oh yeah. Here's a title reign that you probably haven't heard in a long time.
Oh, I'm down. Tell me all about it.
Team Canada, the TNA World Tag Team Championships.
Oh, we going here?
Oh yeah. TNA 2004 World X Cup tournament.
Yeah. Ooh, was that
Oh yeah.
oh, who was in that? God damn it. I always forget their
Uh,
names.
Petey Williams, Eric
Petey
Young, and Bobby Roode, I think.
Bobby Roode, yeah.
Bobby Roode.
Yeah. Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
love that team, dude.
Was that in 2004?
Yeah, I believe so.
Was it Eric Young? Eric Young, right?
Yeah.
I want to say. But yeah. Dude, Team Canada was badass, dude. That was one of those fucking stables that was so good in or factions. That was
Oh
good.
man, you ain't kidding.
Man.
Bar none.
Dude, without a doubt.
I love it.
Yeah, we haven't really
So-
talked about anything else. Like, I would say that a lot of Kurt Angle's title runs in TNA were so good too as a world champion.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Yeah.
I would say one that really stands out to me is I remember when Christian got to go to TNA when he left WWE
Yeah.
because he got tired of like not getting the push he deserved because he did deserve it in WWE
Oh yeah,
because they were so laser focused on Edge, which
Right.
understandable, but like you can't like. I always felt like Christian was like the bastard's like brother. So like Edge,
yeah.
Creepy little bastard.
and I'm just like, but he
CLB,
deserves
yeah,
right, yeah, exactly. And when he signed with TNA, I was so excited.
yeah.
And when he finally got to be a world champion, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. That dude absolutely deserved it. And he had two really good runs in TNA.
He
Oh
had a decent
wow.
run in the ECW revival too.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that, Josh.
I
That's not
I
even
just
it's fake ECW. Everybody knows that.
I called it the ECW revival. I didn't call it actual ECW.
I know, but
It's like
it's
Coca-Cola,
it's
new Coke.
it's
yeah,
WWECW.
it's the Pepsi Blue of like ECW. Nobody liked Pepsi Blue.
Uh,
Shouldn't have
No.
said
I
that.
loved Pepsi Blue.
I
It
have to
was
argue.
literally
Of
the
I kind of
new
course,
like Pepsi
raspberry
Blue. Yeah,
soda.
of course, you would
it
be the
was.
one that liked Pepsi Blue because you probably drank a lot of fucking Robitussin too when you were like 15, didn't you?
More like
Well, this
20,
Oh
but
god.
yeah.
he might have taken a lot of Robitussin, but at least his mom didn't take any Tylenol.
Oh, oh. That's good. That's a good joke. That's funny shit. Um, I mean, and
Uh,
you had guys like Samoa Joe, had some good runs. Obviously, AJ
Yeah.
Styles.
I've got another one that you might not remember, and it
Ooh,
only because it's got one of my favorite obscure wrestlers from TNA in it.
okay.
Um, for it was what was it? The Diamonds in the Rough with Simon Diamond, Ela Skipper, and David Young. They won the NWA World Tag Team Championships.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a throwback.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
I know you're like,
Oh,
what the fuck are
they,
you talking
David Young is one of my that's the aforementioned favorite shoe wrestler. He had the
about? Okay,
greatest spine buster I've ever seen in my life, and that's a pretty high bar.
really?
Um, yes,
Okay.
it got called the cab driver slam, and
Ooh,
only because they said David Young looked like a cab driver, but
yeah.
um, but his spine buster was a thing of beauty, and that's one thing. If I pull a spine buster out, it's going to be his, and I want you all to be there for it.
Hell yeah, I want to see that shit. Let's go.
Oh yeah, he would lift him up, and then at the last second, you know how Jeff Hardy waits to the last second to flip over for the swanton.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
David Young,
Okay.
yeah, David Young would lift somebody up, and at the peak of his
Oh, that's
lift,
cool. I didn't know that.
He would twist and just drop him. And I was like,
Okay.
oh my God, that would kill somebody. It was nasty.
Okay, there's one I want to talk about. There's one I
Okay.
want to talk about. I think I would be a little amiss to not
Bring it
bring it
on.
up. Which at the time I was like, this is dumb. But looking back, I'm like, I wish it kind of hit a little bit better. I wish it was like this was still like I don't know if this was ruthless aggression or whatever the fucking era they call it after that one. Um, but
The PGR?
there you go, the PG era. There it is. That's the one.
Yeah.
Guys, we gotta talk about Jinder Mahal's 6 month reign as WWE champion.
Oh, that's, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Now we're
I
getting in.
Okay, so that is I remember specifically it was one of those things
yeah,
that
yeah, dude.
that was a very big like
That was a big deal. That was a
yeah.
Oh,
big fucking
yeah.
deal. Yeah, and to me, I think I deserved it. I think it was a bold thing for Vince
Mhm.
McMahon to
Oh,
do
yeah.
at the
Very
time.
bold.
Um,
Yeah.
and I don't think he let that cook long enough in the oven. I don't think he let that
No.
bake long
I
enough.
will agree with you on that.
That should have baked a little bit more. Because now looking back at it, I kind of wish Jinder got more than he deserved in WWE.
Yeah.
I think he
Yeah.
could have
Now
been
he's just
way more
definitely
than what
scooped
he
under the rug.
was. Yeah, I think he could have
Yeah.
been way more than
Oh,
he was.
100%. You can't hang with the Jinder.
Another reign. Oh, I'm sorry. What?
You can't hinder the gender.
Yeah, you can't hinder the gender. Hell no. We actually, Raven and I saw him wrestle at Squared Circle Expo.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
Oh,
that-
really?
year?
yeah.
Wow.
This year? Yeah.
Oh gosh, it was this year.
I want to talk about I got to talk about at least one title reign in AEW. Because I
Okay.
was a big fan of AEW when they started, Young
Yeah.
Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega,
Right.
the Elite, it was just like, let's go. No, I got to talk about two. Sorry. I have to talk
Dose.
about Maxwell Jacob Freeman's first
Dude.
Hell
AEW
yes.
title run. When he had the
Okay.
when he had the fucking triple B, dude, and he was like, he had that whole thing going on with Adam Cole. They were like getting into it and they become like the best friends and shit.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
fucking
That was
good.
his first one.
That was, I think, his second. No, that was second reign. Second reign.
Yeah.
I think. The other one I gotta talk because MJF is still one of my favorite.
Did he have the belt when we
heels.
met him?
No,
I didn't think so.
he would have had it there.
Yeah, I was
He
just
would've
didn't
had
he
it.
just lose
Yeah,
it like
yeah.
not long before that?
I don't remember,
I don't either.
Right before.
but
That's what I thought.
I was gonna say, I
Okay,
think he
that's
lost
what I
right
thought.
before.
Yeah.
But I gotta talk about
Mhm.
the first AEW World Champion. I have to talk about the Ocho. I have to talk about
That's
El Champion. Or no, wait, what do you call
El
himself?
Campeón.
What do you call him? Not that's Damian Priest. What did Chris Jericho
Yeah.
call himself in AEW?
Sure.
It was
He-
Le Champion.
Yeah, Le Champion. I gotta
Yeah.
talk about Chris Jericho. He was the first ever AEW World Champion.
Okay.
First ever
And-
undisputed WWE
First ever,
champion.
oh shit, we gotta talk about that too. Fuck, we can talk
Oh
about
yeah,
that. Hell
Jericho's
The
yeah.
Rock
got
and
some
Stone
great
Cold in the
reigns.
He was
same
the
night.
first person to ever defeat The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night to become the
Yep.
very first ever.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I just recently met him.
Yeah,
What,
we just
3
met him
weeks
like
ago, whatever. Something like that,
Oh,
2,
that's
3
funny because he's not looking like the ass kicker he was back in the 90s for sure.
No. He's on his way back to WWE by the way.
Dude, he is one of he's in my top 5 wrestlers that I've met. Like,
He
and
was a treat to me.
my first, yeah, he was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So
And
good, dude.
my first help, I'm losing words.
Your first like involvement with him or first thing you've seen him in?
Yes,
or-
thank you. Was not even wrestling. Like, I knew him as
He was in Terrifier.
I didn't, but I've never seen that movie.
What?
I
But
thought you were going to
knew
say Fozzie.
him.
Yeah.
No, I
He was
knew
in
him as,
Terrifier.
Terrifier
Terrifier
2
2.
and 3.
And
Yeah.
3.
but I still knew
Sorry-
him as
sorry
an
to cut you off,
actor
Reginald.
before.
Yeah.
I still knew him as an actor before a wrestler or a musician because he was on Joe Bob Briggs' show.
Oh, he was on the last
Shudder.
drive.
Yeah, last
There you
Fuck
go.
yes. Joe
Yeah, he
Bob
did that-
Briggs
he
bringing the world
co-hosted an
together
episode.
again.
Yeah, he
introduction.
yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
they
Couldn't remember
co-hosted an episode.
the freaking
I
word.
never
was trying to
thought that we
find
would get
earlier.
to talk about Joe Bob Briggs on our wrestling show.
I know. Here we are.
Ravens
yeah.
made me the happiest little boy in the world right now.
It was my first introduction to him.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I thought he
Oh,
was
that's
so
so great.
funny on that show. And
Oh, you don't even know. He's hilarious. dude.
But it was just
Yes.
such
He's
a pleasure
so
to meet
good.
him. We met him at a horror con. So
Yeah.
it was just kind of full circle for
Yeah.
me to meet him there, and
And he really liked that was your,
I mentioned it to him. Yeah,
because I'm sure a
I
lot of
did
people were
mention
like,
that to him. Yeah,
But
that was cool.
Jericho being the first ever undisputed champion, winning both the WWE
I've seen him wrestle.
and you've never seen him wrestle? Oh fuck!
Oh,
I guess
Oh, fuck.
we're doing
Okay,
for our
well,
next
that's
list. Well, I guess
yeah.
that just made the list. That just made
Made
the
the
list.
list.
can't make a new list yet.
I'll see
We
what you
won't,
did
we
there.
won't.
I'll see
We will
what you
save
did
that.
there.
We'll save that. But God, Chris Jericho, Vengeance 2001, right? I think it was the last
Yeah.
pay-per-view of the year, something like that.
Yeah.
Was it? Am I right? I have to make sure I'm right on this. Hold on.
I mean, you said it and it made my brain click, but maybe that's just because it's one of those things where,
Hell
Are you
yeah,
talking about his debut?
bro, I know I'm right. Vengeance 2001, you damn right, I know that shit.
Yeah.
That was a pay-per-view that was so unforgettable because they had announced they were gonna, have this big tournament and they were gonna, they ended up merging the belts.
Mhm.
And so Chris Jericho beat not only The Rock, but he beat Stone Cold. He was the only person, I think, still to ever do that in the same night, by the way. No one
Yeah.
ever has done
Yeah.
that since.
Yeah.
Beat them both. in the same night to become the first ever WWF Undisputed Champion. There had never been one before. And what was so cool about that was he was the first person ever to hold those two belts up, like you got so used to seeing Roman Reigns do all the time. He did it
Right.
first.
Yeah.
It was him.
He did it first.
Started
Yep.
with him.
Wow.
Started with him. Hell yeah.
Jericho.
I'll show you a picture. There he is, carrying both the titles.
Nice.
Yeah. And
That is such a 90s outfit.
I know, yeah. He had some great outfits. Some damn
Yeah.
great
Hey, Brian.
outfits.
I don't
Yes.
even need to see it to know it's the one where it's the liquid metal shirt, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Cameron?
I sent you a short film clip of David Young using his cab driver slam that he called a spine buster. It's only a few seconds long, so if you want to
Yeah,
take a
let me
look at
see
it real
this.
quick and check it out.
Oh shit. Okay, that's a cool spine buster.
Told
David
you.
wants to too, yeah. That's sick.
Wow, that is cool.
That's cool. I like that. I want to see you do that. Fuck
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
You better let
it's
me
already
know.
in the
You
repertoire.
better be like, all right, it's this show. I'm like, I'm there, dude. Let's do it. But yeah, like Chris Jericho had an incredible run as the first ever undisputed champion. He had a match with Triple H at Mania that next year, which was really good.
Oh yeah.
Highly recommend you watch that one. I mean his reigns as the U.S. champion in WCW. Remember when you guys remember when he would feud with Dean Malenko and he made fun of him for his 1,000 holds?
When he did
Jericho was
the
Yeah.
time that he did the 1,000 people he'd beaten, and
yeah,
it was like a list of people, and
he
then
was
they
like
came back from
Goldberg.
commercial, and he was listing like their alternate
Yeah.
names from other promotions.
Well, he did that, but then he said that he had a pair of tights he had made that he said he was the man with 1,001 holds. He had one extra one more than Dean. And so he also did on Nitro one night. He's like, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna wrestle and I'm gonna read off a list of every single hold that I can do, and I do it better than Dean Malenko. And so he's like, he goes the three-handed something credenza, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, and they were
Yeah.
making shit up as they went. I loved
All
it.
kinds of fucking
That's
names.
funny.
Osaka Street Cutter. That's a real move, by the way. Osaka
That's his
Street
job.
Cutter. The Jackhammer. He was like doing shit like he was taking other people's moves and saying that he did them better than them too in that list.
Yeah, some
But
fantastic shit.
Jericho to me will forever be like the court gesture of pro wrestling. He's so funny.
That's a
At
great
least he
way to
was in
put it.
WWE.
Yeah.
Like
You
he
know,
is just the comic relief.
The
Yeah,
moss
I
covered
love the
three-handled
cartoon.
family credenza was actually a move used by
Yes.
Perry Saturn, I believe.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember that being one of the moves he listed. I was like, what?
And fun fact, that name is actually from Dr. Seuss.
Wait, is it really?
It is.
I did
Believable.
not know that. What's the move called again?
The moss covered three-handled family credenza.
Moscow, a three-handed family credenza. Okay, yeah. I will never forget him saying that. That shit is so funny, dude. And what's great about Jericho is he's had so many different like eras himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Y2J. He did some dumb shit in AEW, like the learning tree. I thought that shit was so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was what the pain maker, was that what they called him in AEW?
Painmaker, yeah, I think.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah, damn.
Well, and he
When
did
he
that
was like
also
painting
in
himself up like Sting, and everyone was like,
yeah,
stop,
but
you're old.
didn't he also do that when he was over in New Japan too? Didn't he call himself the Painmaker
Yeah.
over there too when he was doing shit? Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, he's the lead singer of Fozzy, which I dig. I did their music. I want to go on a Jericho cruise. That sounds like so much fun, dude. I've heard those are so
The
fun.
Cruise of Jericho. I love it.
Yeah, dude. Well, guys, that is gonna do it. That's gonna do it. I'm gonna call it right there. We are. You got about an hour and a half of us tonight on this episode, but we do appreciate all of you for listening to our podcast. You guys have helped make us a number one pro wrestling show over on Good Pods. We appreciate that. We're beating out the likes of Jim Cornette, which makes me feel good. No offense to Jim, but but no, really though, we appreciate all the listens, all the views we get from all of you. Thank you guys so much for that. That means a lot to us. But it doesn't matter where you listen to us, whether you're on
Thank
Spotify.
you, Craig Montoya.
Yes, thank you, Craig Montoya.
Always gonna shout.
Thank you, Craig Montoya. I hope you're smiling right now.
Montoya.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
For listening, and no matter where you listen to us from, we appreciate it all the same. If you're listening to us on a place that has a comment section, such as our YouTube channel or Spotify, chime in. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Let us know maybe some of your favorite championship reigns
Yeah.
you've watched, and let us know your favorite Cameron wrestling match you've seen. Uh, down in the comments below. But and thanks most of all to our buddy Cameron for coming on. Thank you, man. For
Thank
I know
you.
you took this show last minute. I literally messaged you like an hour before.
Oh, that's
I was like,
Oh
hey,
yeah.
I know you wanted to do the show this week, so thanks for taking the time to come on and hang out with us tonight as we do our show. And other than that,
Yeah, I'm happy to do it, brother. Anytime you
anytime.
want me to do it.
The doors
and really
the door is
anytime.
always open. We loved having you here. So, all right, we'll see you guys in December. And
Yep.
take it easy, guys. Later.
Peace.